the world champion, and glow stick as well. So we look forward to that one. Let me just double check that I'm on the right thing. Yeah, I am. Who said that? Hello, Magnatex. Good evening, sir. Not sure what's going on there. Good evening to Magnatex. Anyway, in the chat, just fixing something up there while I get prepared. We are live on Twitch and Kick as usual. It's Blobby_Butler. No underscore on Kick. And of course, Dynamic Racing Series. I changed that one. Dynamic Racing Series on Twitch as well. All live. As usual for you. Pretty much a full grid today. Just see a comment in Discord. No, that's not what I wanted to click. What do we get? Is that just a stream plug? Yes, it is. What we have. Okie dokie. Right then, iMOLA, it is 19 on the grid, including a couple of changes since last week, where we have got Mr. Pickle back in the pros. He has moved to Alpine, where he will be joined eventually by the return of Mr. Pickle. But today, it's Skippy joining Mr. Pickle in the Alpine. Ocean Tamer lasted a couple of races and has left. It is rather a narrow track. Magnatex raises a good point there, that it is rather large cars. Nico is absent today, cheering on the Mercedes, which is Sime and Hammer. Let's see who's up the front, ready to start laps. Looks like a Ferrari. It is Easy Life. And he's going to be passed by Marvsky. So Marvsky's going to start off. Someone random has sent me an invite, don't know why. It's going to be Marvsky to start us off then. There's a few more exit the pits. Hopefully they're going to be aware on pit exit. In fact, he goes past them before they become an issue. Yeah, it's definitely a narrow track, so the new wider Formula 1 cars as they are, as Marvsky invalidates straight away. Just proving the narrow nature of the track there. And Easy Life is going to fly by on his hot lap. And he is followed by one of the V-Carbs. Another move there. That's a Vampire, I think. It might be Sloth. Vampire joining Sloth at V-Carb. Quite a few out there now. As Easy Life rounds the final couple of corners and heads on up to the line. The V-Carb getting a bit of a slipstream behind and beating him by a second. Vampire 1:16.1. Smug also just behind 1:16.1 as well. There's Max 1:15.0. So big golf at the moment with Max 1:15.0, Sim 1:15.9, Vampire and Smug in the 1:16.1s, Easy Life 1:17.3. Few others coming across now. Hammer with a good time, 1:15.9. In there with his temporary teammate Sim. Good start for Mercedes. We are with Skippy. As McLaren does its best to get out of the way. Not sure if the Alpine livery glitch has fixed yet. We'll keep an eye on that. Who else have we got? We've got a few more coming towards the line now. And Joker is one of them. He goes into P2 with a 1:15.5. Skippy, well down, 1:19 for him. Pickle, his teammate, starting his lap behind. Saintsy is invalidated. Bakey is into sector 3. Mercedes back into the pit lane. Senna goes to P2, 1:15.3 for Senna. Bakey now is a 1:16.5 and that's P8 at the moment. Sloth goes to P4, 1:15.7. Mercedes tumbling down a little. Colin purple through sector 1. Here comes Marvsky towards the line now. 1:16.2 for Marvsky puts him in P9. Go back to Colin. Yet to see King Kong. Everybody else has been out. Swanton with his usual double outlap. Colin 1:15.5 puts him to P3. Third place for Colin. Here's Pickle. Saintsy is on his way back out once again. He had been out and invalidated his lap. Smug's improved now to a 1:15.8 and up to P6. Previously sat just behind Vampire. As you see that Alpine glitch slightly. Mr. Pickle goes a 1:15.9 to P8, just ahead of Hammer. Beauty, he is on his way now, starting his hot lap. 50 Gent, who I believe leads the Pro-Am, with Mr. Pickle now out of the way. But he has invalidated this attempt. So let's go back to Al Newt. A few others out there. Let's see Swanton. He's well down again and he's going into the pit lane. Bakey has improved the head of Hammer. Clutch of drivers there in the 1:15.9s. Keep revisiting Al Newt during this lap, so we will go with him in sector 3. Here we go then, Newty is well down as well, 122 for him. Here's Saintsy again. $50 Gent also making another attempt now as Saintsy invalidates again. And back into the pit lane. King Kong is now out there. And on his way. Some caution flags for a few drivers. Just, I think, slowing to allow others to pass. 50 Gent, 117.4, and that's P14. At the moment, Syme has improved to P3. Did not see that one. 115.5 for him. Takes him out of that little midfield clutch in the 115.8s and 9s. Which Al Newt has just headed with a 115.8 of his own. So P8 for Al Newt. Joker goes ahead of Senna into P2, 115.1. Here is his teammate King Kong. And King Kong goes into that pile in the 115.8s. He's P10. So at the moment, Sloth 15.973. Then Al Newt, Smug, King Kong and Marvsky all in the 115.8s. With Pickle, Bakey, Hammer in the 115.9s. Then a massive gap, nobody in the 116s. With Easy Live, 50 Gent, Skippy and Swanton all a bit off the pace, and Swanton has invalidated again. Still 6 minutes to go, so time to get it right. Good evening to Bazza in the chat. And we have to wait just a little longer for the return of Levi. Been announced this week he will be rejoining to partner Mr. Pickle at Alpine. Ocean Tame lasted just 1 or 2 races. We're with Senna now as he makes his way through Sector 3. Where is he going to put the Red Bull? Senna to the line and stays in P4. Smug, look at that. Smug has gone right the way up to P2. 1:15.0 for him. Very close to knocking Max off the top. Here is Sainz, who's invalidated again. Swanton now tearing some time off. Can he get it right, Swanton, and get back up where he needs to be? No, he's invalidated again, Swanton. Skippy has invalidated as well. Here's Hammer. He's improving. As everyone is in the pits pretty much. A little bit of a lull before the final runs as Hammer comes up towards the line and jumps quite a few places with just a couple of tenths. 1:15.7 puts him in P8. There is Marvsky trying to do the same and make big leaps for small gains. Life is also out there. Let's just see how he's going back in the pits. So we'll stay with Marvsky. Max is back out there on an outlap. Sainz and Swanton are going to have one more opportunity. Skippy as well. Here comes Marvsky to the line. And it's a 1:15.6 above Hammer into P8. Hammer this lap not doing anything. Let's go on board with Max as he looks to improve on that 1:15.0 and break into the 1:14s. A couple of cars on pit exit, just letting him go, staying out of the way. Didn't actually spot his first sector time because I was actually watching the lap rather than the clock. But we'll see through sector 2 shortly. Through Aqua Minerali. This doesn't quite look the same without the blue outside marking. Haas there needing to cut some grass, and Max has had a massive accident into the back of a Ferrari, and it's Colin, and he's been given a 5-place grid penalty. We were on board with it, and Max has smashed his way out of qualifying. Unlike real life, it is not going to be a red flag. We will continue the session with just a minute or so to go. Swanton starting what will be his last attempt. Saintsy is already going, but it got crowded on track and Colin just not really paying attention to where he was, and Max straight into the back of him and out of the session. Max will hope he still will get pole, but it gives an opportunity to the chasing pack. Last minute then of the session. Saintsy has traffic in front of him. He'll hope that they'll get out of the way, because this is going to be his opportunity. With Swanton also just in front. No, Swanton further behind. Saintsy's invalidated again. And that's going to be it for him. Bakey's been disconnected. We'll try and get him back in. Swanton to the line. P8, but he has started another lap. We now have the checkered flag. So we will see who is where. Who's that? A Red Bull. Was that Senna? Senna. No, it's not Senna. It's his teammate 50 Gent has crossed the line. Joker is further back. Mr. King Kong's in the pits. One of the Alpines is nearly to the end of a lap. Mr. Pickle, perhaps, he's in the pits. Ferrari Colin has crossed the line, so that'll be Easy Life going back into the pits. Then have we got Sloth? We have. Here comes Sloth. And improved slightly. P9 for Sloth. Well, the V car, one of the Kick-Saubers is in. Here is Joker. He has invalidated. Collins now left the session. It's all happening. Syme comes round the corner but is not improving. Smug, is he going to take pole? No. Senna's well down. I don't think anybody else is making moves. So, Vampire's retired from the session. That's fine. As we clear up, Max is still going to take pole from Smug and Senna. Joker joins Senna on the second row. Then it's Swanton and Syme, the old rivals. Vampire will start alongside Sloth on row 4 with Colin demoted due to that grid penalty. So P7 and 8 will be the V-Carbs. And that is a good hit for Vampire, who takes the Pro-Am top spot. Colin will drop 5 places, so Vampire 7 and Sloth 8, followed by Marvski and the Hammer, our Newt, and then Colin. Then it's King Kong, Pro Pickle, down in Pro-Am position, 14th. Then Bakey, 50, Easy Life, Skippy and Sainsy. Sainsy not managing to set a time. I think we've lost Colin again. And he's rejoined. Hopefully not one of those days for Colin or anybody else. I do see the frustration when that happens, when people are in and out of the lobby. Slight pause now as they go through their preparations. So I will bring you some we'll go through some driver announcements were made during the week. I want the championship standings, that's what I want. Syme, top of the pile in the Drivers' Championship from Mr. Pickle and Marvski. Max having missed the first couple of weeks, won last week, and is on pole today. Jet leads the way in the Pro-Am. 32 laps around this circuit, which was traditionally the San Marino Grand Prix, despite its location actually in Italy, but quite near San Marino, and now known as the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, when they stopped just having one per country more recently, as we saw during COVID with the Austrian and Styrian Grand Prix both taking place at the Red Bull Ring, and of course 3 USA Grand Prix now at COTA in Texas, as well as Las Vegas and Miami. Used to be that they'd rotate who got a second race, and there was a European Grand Prix at circuits such as Valencia or the Nürburgring. Of course, no German Grand Prix at all now, with the Hockenheimring not being involved anymore. Talk this week of the emergence of Franco Colapinto, leading to a perhaps return to Argentina. The latest rumour, but still going to see if the second Saudi track comes to fruition, because they're bound to go where the money is, hence why there's not a race in Africa. All we want is legacy tracks, please. F125, get it done. Give us every track that's ever raced F1, 50 tracks, and it'll just be fantastic. That's all we want. I want a bit less glitching, please. Good race in prospect here, though. Can Max continue his dominance from last week? Or who will provide the big challenge? Is it time for Smug, Senna, Joker, Swanton, Syme? They're all there in the chase. We will find out as we go on the formation lap then. And the tyre selections are a nice mix of hard and medium, with nobody going for the softs. Max in the lead takes the hard. Again, no teammate for him tonight. Ploughing a lone furrow for McLaren. One stop or two, says Amazon, with medium to hard, or 2 lots of mediums to hards. Smug takes medium tyres. His teammate Saints here at the back is on the hards. Senna also takes mediums. He's paired with 50 Gent, who also takes mediums for the constructors' leaders. Both the Williams are on hard, Joker and King Kong, as are both Haas drivers, Swanton and Bakey. Both the Mercedes drivers choose medium tyres and are 6th and 10th, so perhaps they might have to worry a little bit about clashing their stop. Vampire and Sloth go different routes. Vampire on mediums, Sloth next to him on hards. And Kick Sauber also. Marvsky on the mediums, Al Newt on the hards. And Ferrari also go different. Colin seems to have been disconnected again. He is on mediums, and Easy Life is on hards. Alpine, Mr. Pickle on mediums, Skippy on hards. I'm going to try and invite Colin back very quickly. It's going to give me a terrible view of the start. We're on board with Smug. Away they go, and Smug got a great start once again. And he's into the lead. Smug, what a starter he is. And he is into the lead ahead of Max, then Senna. Marsky coming through there. Can everybody get through without crashing? Sloth is the one who's gone off. Sloth went off at the back. Bakey's also lost a lot of places. Mr. Pickles made a great start and he is up a few places. Colin managed to get back into his car, which is a good sign. As they all come through, but it is Smug who's taken the lead on lap 1. Always brilliant off the line is Smug, cat-like reactions. But he's going to have to defend the lead here as Max is going to fight. And we've got Senna, Joker, Swanton, Syme from Marvsky. Hammer in 8th. Has taken the Pro-Am lead ahead of Vampire. Then Colin, Mr. Pickle. Joker's picked up a penalty on lap 1. Track limit penalty for Joker. DRS is enabled. And Max is going to try and go around the outside of Smug. They keep it clean through there. Set a big wobble in behind. Almost went flying off the track there. As he tries to keep with Max. Then Joker, Swanton, Syme, Marvsky. Hammer from Vampire. Colin trying to apply some pressure. And Colin gets the move. And Sainzy's gone off and he's crashed into Easy Life. And picked up a 10-second penalty. Easy Life and Sainsy both with broken front wings now. Mr. Pickle going for it on Vampire and gets it done. Vampire almost got it back. Eventful start here, but no safety car as of yet. Safety car risk described as very high. Who's getting close in behind? Smug, fastest lap once again. Anyone going to beat it? Yes, Colin. Al Newt into the pits. Max into the lead. Max has retaken the lead. Al Newt into the pits and he was on hard tyres, so that's not a good early stop for him. Easy Life and Saintsy have now found their way to the pits. Mr. Pickles picked up a penalty. And Max leads Smug from Senna. Pickle now going for Colin. And up to P9. Lively start from the new Alpine driver. Bit of a wobble there from Max. Can that invite Smug for a run? Don't think so. It looks more like Senna is going to be going for it. Max, fastest lap of the race. Colin is off. Colin has gone off. And has broken his front wing. So it's real bad news for Ferrari. Colin's in the pits. And already Max seems to be catching Saintsy to lap him. Now we've got another yellow flag and it's Hammer is off. Hammer's in the gravel. And he drops down the order. It's all happening. Hammer had started pretty well, taken the Pro-Am lead, but has now dropped down the field. Colin exits the pits right with Al Newt, and Max has picked up a penalty. We're only on lap 4 of 32, and a lot has happened already. 3-second penalty for Max. Al Newt gets the move on Colin. Senna trying to close on Smug. And is closing on Smug with DRS. Smug has DRS of his own, but Senna is going to try and go around the outside. Senna goes the long way round, but makes it stick, and up to P2 goes Senna. Smug now drops to third, having led off the line. Some changes of places further back as Bakey is passed by Sloth. I think maybe Skippy was passed by 50 Gent as well. Marvsky trying to get to Syme. Swanton trying to get to Joker. Into the pits again comes Colin. And it's really not gone well for Ferrari today. Colin passed by his teammate Easy Life. Swanson getting very close to the back of Joker now. Colin's going to exit the pits right in front of the leaders. As Joker making a move on Smug. And now Senna picks up a penalty. So all of the front three now with penalties already. Al Newt has also got a penalty. Skippy making a move past 50 Gent. Smug's lost more places. Smug's in the gravel. Smug's in the gravel. And he's dropped down to P9. Not sure how he got there, but Skippy losing a couple of places at once as well there to 50 Gent and Sloth. I was going to say Smug has the net lead with the penalties, and he ended in the gravel. Max has got a couple of seconds on Senna now. Skippy the latest to pick a penalty up. Smug's off again. Smug is off again. Max is actually catching Colin and Sainsey to lap them. Senna and Joker are side by side. And Joker goes to P2. Marvsky's going to make a move on Syme up the inside. A lovely move for him. Smug's in the pits. Sloth going past 50 Gent. And into the top 10 now. There's 4 of them trying to break into that corner at the same time there. Skippy and Bakey right there. All getting a bit tight between those. 50 Gent managed to get ahead. And now it's trying to stay there. A Sloth tries to get away. Skippy and 50 side by side. Skippy makes the move. Into the pits again is Colin, and I think he might be calling it a day. He is. Colin's out of the race, and it's not been a good day for him and Ferrari so far. Mr. Pickle now passes Vampire for P7. He's climbed well from his poor qualifying performance. Vampire still has the Pro-Am lead, but is now chased by King Kong. Collins' car has rejoined, but nobody's around there at the moment. So I'm hoping it's just going to disappear. Smug is approaching it now, as you can see. And it does, in fact, pull off the side of the road. Swanton now with a penalty. So all of the top four now. Max is trying to get away. And he's almost picked up a 3-second gap now to Joker in second. Simon trying to get back at Marvsky. Senna going back for Joker. And Senna retaking P2. Oh, that Vampire and King Kong are going for Mr. Pickle. And Kong could go for the prime lead here. Bakey's taken 50. Joker's got another penalty. They will start to stack up these penalties. Vampire picks up a penalty as we watch this battle. So the key to this race could be just not picking penalties. Vampire with Mr. Pickle in front of him. King Kong behind him. 3 different shades of blue. In this battle. And King Kong potentially sitting pretty now because he doesn't have a penalty yet. Joker and Senna at it again. Who's going to come out in front this time? It's Joker. Vampire makes the move on Pickle. Kong's going to try and follow through. And can't. Mr. Pickle's now got a penalty. Syme has made the move on Marvsky. King Kong does get Mr. Pickle up the inside. Nice move. Also further back, I think Bakey has made a move on Skippy. Caution in sector 2, and that is one of the Aston Martins, and it is, as you can see, Sainsey is off on the gravel, and he's got a 10-second penalty for his troubles. So what? And a broken front wing as well. Easy Life picks up a penalty. What looked a promising afternoon for... And now someone else has gone off. Is it Mr. Pickle? It is! Mr. Pickle's now gone off. Hammer's got a penalty. There's too much happening. They've got cautions all over the road. And Mercedes is off as well now. Hammer! There he goes into the wall. Hammer into the wall. And spins as well. Swanton's got another penalty. Mr. Pickle's into the pits. Sainsey also into the pits. iMOLA proving a real challenge at the moment. It's action-packed. Skippy's got a penalty. Marvsky continues to chase Syme. Kong continues to try and get back past Vampire. And Skippy fights with Bakey. Swanton has now closed up to Senna as well. Hammer has made his way back to the pits. Our Newt is also in the pits. I think that's a second stop for Newty. As we watch Marvsky making the move on Syme. Further forward, Senna is making the move into third, ahead of Senna. And Kong now leads the Pro-Ams. King Kong takes the Pro-Am lead from Vampire. Caution now in Sector 1. Who's that for? Maybe for somebody being lapped. Nobody appears to be off at the moment. Everybody a bit bunched up, including some back markers in there as well. Very confusing. We'll keep you updated on the penalty positions as well. Joker has actually closed to Max, back within a couple of seconds. I think the medium tyre runners are starting to struggle a bit. King Kong now catching Sime. Mr. Pickle with another penalty. And the medium tyres might well start seeing some pit stops shortly. Senna making his way back past Swanton though, so the medium tyres maybe not finished yet. Swanton will try and fight him back though. They're followed by a back marker just behind them. That is Hammer. Swanton on the inside now as Senna. Senna manages to stay ahead. Marvsky is next. Max picks up another penalty. Marvsky is next from Sime. King Kong now trying to cling on to the back of him, preceded by Easy Life, who's a lap down. Bakey still trying to stick with Skippy. 18 of them still going, who started, of the 19, sorry, who started. Swanton very close to Senna. Swanton has actually got a broken front wing. Senna pits. And that releases Swanton with an Easy Life is off. Senna and Vampire are in the pits. Easy Life has gone off. And will crawl his way to the pit lane. Senna is going to exit the pits now. And he's going to be behind his teammate 50 Gent. And in 11th place and off in the background was Easy Life again. Easy Life certainly not having an easy life today. Bakey has got another penalty. They are stacking up. Sime and Kong are lapping Al Newt. It's turned into a really fractured race with all the extra pit stops that needed to be made. Smug finds himself now just behind Vampire in P13. And this is a race for position, as Marvsky and Sime are in the pits. Marvsky and Sime in. 50 Gent also in. Let's see where Senna ends up in relation to Sime and Marvsky. He's ahead of both. So that's big for him. Easy Life's in the pits again. In fact, maybe didn't go in the pits last time. Hammer also picking another penalty up. I'll look at those shortly. Easy Life becomes the second Ferrari driver to pit and quit this afternoon. Vampire's got another penalty. Sloth and King Kong have now found themselves all the way up to 4th and 5th, respectively. Kong in 4th, that is. Bakey another penalty. Easy Life's car is just going to hopefully get out of the way as it's approached by Newty, yes, by Max, yes, there it is. Max now has the gap to 3 seconds to Joker. Swanson in third, Kong in fourth, leading the Pro-Ams. Then it's Sloth in fifth from Skippy, Bakey, Senna. Don't forget, Senna, the lead car that has boxed. Then Marvsky, Vampire, Syme, Smug, Mr. Pickle, 50 Gent, Hammer, Al Newt, and Sainsy. Lap 16 of 32. So much has happened already. Still only at half race distance. Both Ferraris then out of the race. Here we have penalties. 6 seconds for all 3 front runners. 6 for Skippy, Bakey as well. 3 for Senna. 6 for Vampire. Symes picks up his first 3. Mr. Pickle has 9. Hammer 6. Alnute 3. And Sainsy with 10. Everybody spread a little bit out now, except the queue forming behind Marvsky. And Al Newt passing Hammer while the two of them were being lapped. So opportunistic there from Newty. Senna's got another penalty. Queue forming behind Marvsky. It's Vampire, Syme and Smug. And Vampire going up the inside of Marvsky. Sainsy's picked up another penalty. Vampire picks up the place on Marvsky. How long will the front runners go on the hard tyres is the question. When are we expecting them in? As Senna makes a move on Bakey. And up to P7 goes Senna. Into the pits comes Swanson. First of the front runners to pit then is the Haas. The Williams drivers, though there's 10 laps between them, I personally hope they are coordinating their pit stop, because King Kong has got a Pro-Am race to win and he does not need to be caught in a double stack. Swanson rejoins quite far down the order behind Smug in P11, P12, but ahead of Mr. Pickle. Marvsky going for it on Vampire. We've got a yellow flag again. I think that's just for Sainsy being lapped. Mr. Pickle passes Smug. Don't think it was for Sainsy being lapped actually. It might have been for these 3. Swanson, Pickle and Smug. Into the pits come the 2 leaders. So Kong will look at this and go again. No, he won't. He's going to come in. And surely they're not going to be ready for him. And he's speeding in the pit lane as well. Disaster at Williams. Joker gets away. It's a delayed pit stop for him. Skippy continues on, but will not get the lead. He does go into second, and Senna comes out ahead of Joker into third. Then Joker, Bakey, King Kong will rejoin down the order. Sloth has also made his pit stop. King Kong rejoins ahead of Swanson, but crucially well behind Vampire, and he has a 10-second penalty. Joker and Senna close up again. Max has rejoined in the lead. Skippy is second. Then it's Joker and Senna. And Joker's making a move past Skippy. Skippy's off there. And Senna will pass him as well. Marvsky and Sloth, the only two drivers without a penalty at the moment. So credit to those two. And if Marvsky can continue how he's going, it could make him some good points. Into the pits comes Bakey. Swanton, fastest lap of the race as he tries to chase down King Kong. And he does make the move up the inside of King Kong. King Kong didn't fight that one too hard. Swanton up to P8. Kong will hope to follow him as he comes through a few more of the field. See if he can get to Vampire. Marvsky trying to close Vampire down now. Syme clinging on to the back of them. Pickle has been repassed by Smug. And he's looking to try and get him back. Max fastest lap of the race, and he's got a 3-second gap at the moment to Joker. As finally Skippy pits. Hammer's got another penalty. He is collecting those quite quickly. Skippy rejoins as King Kong retakes Swanton, or does he? Swanton goes deep and closes him out. Aggressive but fair from the Haas. Kong will have another attempt though. And just has to hang back. Good defending from the Haas driver. Marvsky and Syme are now quite stuck behind Vampire. Need to find a way to pass him. Mr. Pickle picks up another penalty. And so does Bakey. Marvsky find a way past Vampire. Good battling this. Vampire P4. Excellent performance so far for a prime driver. King Kong also in the top 10 for the Pro-Ams. And fighting with Swanton at the moment. And the gap is coming down as Vampire holds up Marvsky and Syme to Swanton and King Kong. Marvsky, does he get the move this time? Yes, he does. As Kong has retaken Swanton this time as well. Can Syme do anything about Vampire in front of him? Joker's got another penalty. Hammer made a move past Al Newt there. Bakey trying to get to 50 Gent. Syme so far can't do very much. We've got a yellow in sector 1. And that's just somebody being lapped. And the gap between Syme and the two drivers behind is closing rapidly as he's held up by Marvsky and Vampire. Both of them with DRS. King Kong, fastest lap of the race. Now who's making a dive here? Could be 3 wide. Vampire back past Marvsky, but for how long? Bit of a switchback. Syme's right in there as well. Syme having to hang back. Smug was passed by Sloth. And Bakey has now got 50 gent. But look at this. King Kong with the fastest lap of the race. Closing in on Marsky, Syme and Vampire. And potentially closing in on a battle for the Pro-Am victory. Look at this, King Kong is going to be within a second very shortly. If not for this DRS, then for the next one. As Pickle's got another penalty. Saintsy allows a few more passes to lap him again. Kong and Swanton are coming to join this battle though. As Saintsy again slows to allow people to lap. Smug's in the pits again for a second stop. And he will rejoin down the order in 14th. Caution in sector 2 is again just Saintsy allowing laps. With Marsky now picking up a penalty as we watch him there. Try and chase down Vampire. And Hammer is out. And we've got a safety car. The safety car is out. Hammer is out of the race. And he has crashed out. Joker speeding in the pit lane as everybody comes in. It's soft tyres for Max. Is everyone coming in? It looks as if they are. Joker goes on mediums. But is that a second speeding penalty for Joker as well? Or was it Kong earlier on? Probably was Kong earlier on. Everybody is in the pits though. Kong drops right back as he serves that penalty from earlier. And it looks as if everybody is coming in. I think Smug will stay out because he just pitted. And is he going to gain any places? 1, 2, 3. So he's back up to 11th, Smug. And a few of them are out of the order here because they're a lap down. Especially Saintsy. And now Bakey has been disconnected. We'll try and get him back again. Newty also in. So everybody has pit. Some for softs and some for mediums. And this will close them all up again. So now the penalties become a huge factor. Where Max has 6. Marsky picked up a penalty. So the Sloth now is the only driver in the entire race who does not have a penalty. Max has 6 seconds. Joker has 19. Senna has 6. Vampire has 6. Marsky and Syme have 3. Swanton has 6. Mr. Pickle has 18. Sloth is clean. And he'd love for this race to end under the safety car now because it would give him a victory. Kong has 3 and so does Smug. Skippy has 6. 50 has 3. Bakey has 12. Our Newt has 3. And is our Newt on the same lap as everyone else? No. Our Newt is a lap down. In fact, no, he is actually going to be able to catch up. Saintsy is a couple, so Saintsy a couple of laps down. Newty will be able to catch up, as will Bakey, if the safety car stays out long enough. But Saintsy is out of the order. I'm trying to see where he is in the field as well. Where is he? He's near his teammate. So Smug is in 11th and Saintsy is behind him. It's unfortunate really, because being stuck a lap down and unable to unlap as the real life rules would allow is a frustrating situation to be in. Gonna be about a 5-lap sprint race to decide this one, as it was last week as well. With Max coming out on top last week, Joker's surely blown his chances with all those penalties. Safety car is in this lap, and that was such a late call. Al Newt has just caught the field, and I was convinced we were going for another lap. They're already in the straight when the safety car pulled off, and Max has got them restarted now. Very late call, but we're now underway again. And Saintsy's allowed everybody through. Bakey's made a move on 50 Gent. Senna looking for a go at Joker. Again on his inside. Now could come under pressure from Vampire and Marski. And now they could end up being 3 wide. And Senna goes up the inside of Joker, who holds it. He's on the curb, but Senna makes it into P2. Max has already jumped away by 2 seconds. Mr. Pickle making a move on Swanton. Syme making a move on Marski up the inside. And Marski was then hit by Mr. Pickle. Concertina effect there. Bakey making moves. 50 Gent making a move on Skippy. DRS enabled at the end of 1 lap now, rather than the old 3 before. Joker and Senna side by side, and Joker's going to retake it. Is he? No. Senna fights him, and Joker edges out Senna. Vampire is in 4th place from Syme, Marski, Mr. Pickle and Swanton. Sloth picks up a penalty. And there you have it, folks. Everyone on the track has a penalty. Saintsy picks another one up. Not one driver completing the race without a penalty today. Max pulling away in front. Just a superior pace for him at the moment. Al Newt picks up a penalty. Vampire's right in there with a chance of a podium here. Skippy picks up another penalty. Marski trying to have a look, get past Syme. Max sets the fastest lap of the race. Senna's going for it again on Joker. Vampire has a look as well and locks up and almost takes Joker out. Marski has passed Syme. Pickle's got another penalty in behind Syme. Swanton trying to go around Mr. Pickle. King Kong is there as his Sloth. Gap to Bakey, who's ahead of Smug, 50 and Al Newt. And Al Newt there has a spin. Spin for Al Newt, and he's passed by Skippy. Syme trying to get back to Marvsky. He's got Mr. Pickle behind him. Swanton, King Kong and Sloth all going for it. Who will be close enough to make moves? 50 going for Smug. Senna, fastest lap of the race as he tries to close in on Max. Can he close that gap? Mr. Pickle making a move on Syme. Smug's in the pits. Pickle passes Syme. Al Newt past Skippy. The gap for the lead, 2.5 seconds. Can Senna find that little bit extra? They do have level penalties. I'm going to put the penalties up for good now to see Mr. Pickle. 21 seconds. He's got the So Solid award. That's going to cost him an awful lot of points. Vampire could be on for a podium, but more importantly for him, the Pro-Am win. Needs to get 3 seconds away from King Kong. We will get it all out in the wash at the end. Joker continues to scrap with Senna, even though he's got 19 seconds of penalties. And Joker will retake the position there. Syme and Swanton both going for Mr. Pickle, who gets his elbows out and forces Swanton wide. And Swanton has gone off and loses more positions. And Mr. Pickle, really, with 21 seconds of penalties, did he really need to get his elbows out? That'll be one for the steward's room, I'm sure. Swanton drops to P10. Marvsky and Vampire have had a tremendous battle today, and they're still doing that now. Senna had a bit of a wobble there, and Vampire might fancy a go at him. And a caution in Sector 1 is one of, or both of, the Aston Martins who are detached from the field. Bad day for Aston Martin. Vampire close to the back of Senna now, and this is for position. With both having 6 seconds of pens, he's going for it. And Vampire goes up to P3 as we begin the final lap. King Kong and Sloth past Mr. Pickle. Swanton's trying to get there as well. Vampire's got another penalty, and that's going to cost him a podium. And probably the Pro-Am win, because King Kong only has 3 seconds. So Kong's got to stay within 6 now of Vampire for the Pro-Am success. Smug nicks the fastest lap. That's given him something to show for his afternoon's work. Max is coming round towards the end of this race, and he's going to win it. And Swanton is off, I think. Max World comes across the line and wins in Imola. Joker comes home in second, but will drop all the way down. Marvsky takes P2. Syme takes P3. Senna in P4. King Kong wins the Pro-Am race in P5. Sloth in 6th. Vampire was in 7th. 50 Gents then in P8, and a podium for the Pro-Am. Swanton in P9, Joker drops all the way to 10th. Our Newt was P11, Bakey in 12, Skippy 13, Pickle drops to 14, and just left to come home are the unfortunate Aston Martins. Smug taking the fastest lap of the race in an otherwise forgettable afternoon for him in 15th, and Saintsy will finish a couple of laps down. In 16th place, Sloth, the driver of the day. According to the game, of course, there are votes going on for these things. Vampire has left before the podium. I hope that it doesn't ruin the results. Max, then your winner. Marvsky, clean drive from him. Only in the end, 1.4 seconds off of a victory. Syme in P3 from Senna. King Kong, the Pro-Am winner. Great drive from him from 13th on the grid to finish 5th. The V-Carb, Sloth and Vampire. Vampire penalties costing him the Pro-Am win. 50 Gent from nowhere. P8, solid performance. Swanton dropped to P9. I'm sure he won't be happy with Mr. Pickle. And Joker, penalties costing him, dropped him to P10. Williams both serving speeding penalties in the pit lane. So that could have been oh so much better for them. Al Newt was 11th. Bakey in 12th. Then the Alpines of Skippy and Mr. Pickle. So solid crew reward. 21 seconds of penalties for Mr. Pickle. Then the Aston Martins of Smug with the fastest lap, and Saintsy a couple of laps down. The DNS were Hammer, who caused that safety car with a crash, and 2 pit and quits at Ferrari, Easy Life and Colin. That brings us to the end of your first instalment of the Monday doubleheader. I'll be back at 10 p.m. in Bahrain for Blobby Mondays, and DRS will be back next week as usual, Monday at 8 p.m. Until then, I've been Blobby Butler. This has been DRS. Thank you very much. Good night for now.